Okay, so I want to do a video of the Varigate 4 making friends with the launch codes. They're both trigger and gate sequencers, but they have sort of different disciplines, philosophies, if you would. The Varigate is really awesome at creating these rolling changes that are kind of randomized with probability of like hits and rolls and things like that. So I've got this really busy sequence going on with a kick, a hi-hat, and sort of an industrial percussive sound, and those are just going on the Varigate. So if you listen to them, they're like this. Awesome. So what I've got going on here is that I've got those channels on the launch codes set up. They are I'm outputting gates from the launch codes to open up the channels coming out of the Varigate. The triggers and gates coming out of the Varigate are being gated by some VCAs over here. So the launch codes is sending out a gate, say for the kick, for instance, and when it sends out that gate, it says like, you can go ahead and come out and go to the drum Varigate. And so if I hold down this button, that's basically just letting the gate pass from the Varigate. So this is a way that I've got this kind of rolling, ongoing sequence from the Varigate, and I can sequence these gates on the launch codes and create some variation from the Varigate. So here we go. I'm going to unmute the channels. I had them all muted, so just hold down this button and click on all of the channels. And so also, in addition to that sort of setup, I have one snare drum that's being triggered from this button. And this channel, although it's another one that's coming from the Varigate, but I have it also multed out going to a Doepfer switch, a sequential switch, which will change the sound that triggers each time from this output. And this output is going to a Volca FM little Korg synthesizer. And I'm just providing clock to it, basically, going into the sync input. So you just have to make sure that whatever you use as far as like any of those external devices, that they work okay with the gates coming out. This device, the launch codes, outputs about 5 volts. So what I'm doing is just giving clock to the sequencer of the Volca. So anywho, here we go. Oh, another thing that helps on the Volca is to set the tempo setting to 1/2. That seems to set it to the 1 clock per step, which helps out a lot with syncing with other normal stuff. So I'll get started with the industrial sound. So basically in my setup, I just have the launch codes in normal sequence mode, and I'm just using 8-step lengths right now just to kind of make quick changes. So I'll start with doing the percussive sound. So you can hear it change out. Every time it triggers, it's going to turn on and gate from the Varigate, and it's going to change the sound. And then I'll add in some snare hits. And then we'll add in some hi-hats. And finally, some bass drum. And then I'll start to clock the Volca. So if I want to do something over again, I can just clear it by holding down the clear button and tapping the channel. So I'm going to clear the bass drum. So now I want to just mess with making another pattern. So I'll just click on the pattern button. And we'll just go to another pattern here and start over again. So. and we'll make another pattern. So this pattern's blank, and I'm just gonna go into generate. I just click on the op to go into the main menu where everything is labeled, and click generate. So now we have 3 patterns, and I can get them to chain. I can switch them just by clicking on them, or I can chain them just by holding down all 3 at one time and letting go. And you'll see the ones that aren't playing yet are blinking, the one that's playing is lit up. So now I'll just play around a little bit with it.